Hey guys, so in this video we're going to talk about the different common medical school questions and how I responded to them. I have gone on multiple medical school interviews and I just wanted to give you an example of what a response could be and what I did. Just use it as an example. Don't copy it word for word, but I just want to give you some baseline of what a response could sound like so that you could prepare for your med school interviews when they do come. So, the first question. I grew up in New Jersey. I went to Rutgers University where I did my undergrad in mechanical engineering and I concentrated in aerospace. From there, I commissioned as an active duty engineer officer in the US Army because I did ROTC when I was in my undergrad in Rutgers University. Also, in Rutgers, I was part of the New Jersey National Guard when I was doing my college years. Once I commissioned, I went to Missouri for some training, and then my first duty assignment was in Hawaii. I was there for 2 years, and then from there I went to Texas, and then from Texas to Missouri, and now I'm seeing where I will go next for med school. I will say that my biggest strength is that I can work extremely hard in the sense that once I know I want to do something, I get fully obsessed with it and figure out different ways to make it happen. I'll give you an example. When I wanted to do medicine, I realized that I would have to study for my MCAT, take my pre-medical courses like biology, organic chemistry, and also volunteer and shadow while I am still working full-time 40 hours. So I just kind of made sure that I got up before work and I studied late into the night to make those happen. And then I pretty much sacrificed weekends for 18 months to make sure that I got all the volunteering hours and my clinical hours in to really prove to myself that one, I can do it, and two, that this is what I want to do. I surprised myself that, wow, like I'm really working like a lot here, and the fact that I'm still ongoing with no external pressure, that means that I truly want to do this. And my biggest weakness, on the other hand, of being obsessed with something, I kind of start to get too focused in the sense that I tend to lose track of time and people, and I kind of lose touch with people. And I need to get better at intertwining things so that my friends, my families are also part of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to work hard when I'm trying to study. I'm also taking enough time out on the weekends or after the day to talk to my friends and my family so that I don't feel like I'm missing out on that aspect of life. I think that's a weakness of mine that I've been trying to work on. There are many reasons why I want to go to this school. First of all, the location. So I am from around this area. Now that I've kind of seen the world because of the Army, I've kind of traveled all over the place. I would like to come back to this area of the country because it's just more comfortable. My family is here, my friends are here. So I think it will help me to have that support while I am in medical school because I know it'll be hard, it'll be challenging. So to have that support within an arm's reach will be very, very helpful. Secondly, I do have friends that go here or have gone here and have graduated, and they've had good things to say about the school, from the student body to the faculty and the admin staff and everybody. They had a good experience. Just from the word of mouth also makes me want to come here. Third, the curriculum here is very innovative. The whole flipped classroom thing, I think it just makes sense. We do retain most knowledge, more content when we're on our own studying. So the fact that we get to study at home with online lectures and only come to class for the practicals and personal quizzes and having to collaborate with different students to do a project, I think it just makes sense, and it's not the traditional come here and get lectured at for a couple hours, which is really not that helpful. So I think the curriculum just makes sense. Lastly, just like walking around here today, I've only been walking around for the last hour and a half, and you can just see the camaraderie between the students here. I mean, yes, like they are stressed. They should be. Like it is medical school, it's a lot of studying, but they are happy. Like I see them smiling and they're having fun. And if you can have fun while you're studying, that's what you want. That's the best. In 10 years, I want to be done with my residency, obviously, be settled somewhere around this area in the East Coast. and maybe depending on the specialty that I pick, open my own clinic or private practice or work in a hospital. I think initially I would like to work in a hospital, but eventually open my own clinic or private practice. I would like to be engaged in some sort of community outreach program, like whether it be like a volunteering clinic or something where I could do some nonprofit work. And I would also like to be involved in some sort of research. I don't know to what capacity. I don't know if it will be part-time or more than part-time where it's taking almost all my time. But I do want to be involved in research to some extent because that's only how we advance our scientific technology and knowledge. On the weekends, I like to be productive. For me, being productive is being fun. So yeah, like even on the weekends, I never sleep past 8. I wake up and usually I drink some coffee, read a book, and then at 10 or 11 I go for a run. I love running on the weekends, whether it be raining, sunny, like whatever. I love to go on long runs. And then watch some TV, maybe get some work done, like whether it be making YouTube videos like I like to do, or whatever work I have to do, like academic or like whatever other personal work I have to do. And then watch some Netflix in the evening. I just kind of like relax. But I would say my number one activity is to go on long runs, and that is my little de-stressor, if you want. And it doesn't always have to be running. Like it could be like a hike, but the run is my go-to. So I think handling stress is a thing where it's always evolving. So like you're always getting better at it. It's a living habit. I would say my go-to to handle stress is to tell myself that, hey, I'm feeling stressed. And by just telling myself that, I'm able to calm down. I'm able to kind of relax. And then I try to deliberately slow down so that I could think things clearly and make the right decision, because I know that if you get too stressed out, you tend to go faster and you may make the wrong decision or you may move the wrong way. The way I handle stress is just telling myself, really, and just slowing down, and then if need be, I'll talk to somebody about it, because I have noticed that when you talk to people about it, when you voice, output your stress, your concerns, things get easier. And just being able to verbally tell somebody by just hearing you talk about it makes it even better, and it just de-stresses you. I think you should pick me because I'm different, to be honest. I have a very irregular background, and I think I can truly do a lot for the student body. I could tell them about my experiences and what I have learned from them, and I can teach them what I know. Just like I've also learned from them, I will also ask them questions from their experiences. But I think that is my true strength that I'll bring to this program, is that I'm just different. I'm not like every other pre-medical student. I also want to be picked because school has everything that I want in a medical school. It has the flexibility and the rigidity that I require in an academic institute. I think that if you don't fail, then you're not trying. As long as you're not quitting, you're not truly failing. So I'll say my true fail was when I did poorly in the MCAT the first time around. And I remember feeling like just stopping right then and there and not trying to retake the MCAT, just quitting and just keep engineering. But I realized that if I quit right now, I would definitely regret this. So I just buckled up, rested, I did not quit, and then I just started studying again for the MCAT. That was my true failure, but I'm glad that I did not let that control me and let it stop me. And I think in the future, as long as I'm trying and I'm trying to stretch my limits, I am gonna fail. That is just inevitable. But the lesson is that rest, but you don't quit. Yeah, so I have mostly good grades from Rutgers. I graduated with high honors, but I do have 2 W's from what I can remember. And one was in freshman year, first semester, and the other one was in junior year, first semester. The first course in freshman year was a course for humanities, and I took this course, and it was in a campus across Rutgers. Like, it was taking me forever to get there. I went to like the first 2 courses. I realized that in that course, one, it was a hassle to get to this class in this other campus of Rutgers. And on top of that, like, the course did not really interest me. I was kind of bored in that course. And then I realized that humanities courses need not be boring. I could take some other course that also fulfills my humanities requirement, but it could be fun. That's why I dropped from that course for those 2 reasons. My other course that I dropped from was in junior year, first semester. The junior year was a very important, stressful, heavy year, if you will, because that's when you take your core engineering courses. And also on top of that, for Army ROTC, your junior year is a big year because that's when you get assessed if you actually become a commissioned officer in the U.S. Army or not. So I took this course my first semester, and I realized that I just had way too much on my plate. I was taking way too many credits. And then I also realized that I don't have to take this course that semester. I could take it the next semester. It will be way better, and it will not change anything. In fact, it will give you more time to study for it, and I'll do much better at it. That's why I dropped from that course. And then I'm so glad I did, because the next semester I was able to study for it with more time, and I got an A in that course. And I'm very glad I did it. Yes, I have a lot of questions. So for research, like how does it work? Like, is it I have to have a certain GPA in order to be eligible to research, or can I go to any professor in my first year and then just ask for research? I understand that the third year I have rotations, right, like hospitals. How does housing work for that? Do I get a house in one place and then that's like my base location and I commute? Or do I have to keep moving around every couple of months? Like, how does that whole process work? Is it going to be all on me, or is it going to be school aided? For the grading system, is it pass or fail, or is it letter grades assigned?